All right, so from May 28th to June 28th, one single ASIN did $107,000 in sales. More importantly, over $30,000 of that is pure net profit. Even better, we launched a brand new product, and within the first 30 days, or I should say May 28th to June 28th, which is pretty much the first 30 days, we did $13,000 in sales at a very, very healthy profit margin as well. My name is Pete Coulis. I've been selling on Amazon full-time for over 8 years, made every mistake under the sun, also had a lot of success, so I'm here to share with you all of my insights into what I look for when I select products. First things first, I have a super ultra widescreen monitor. Some of this slide presentation is going to be cut off. However, I will give it to you at the very end of this video for free if you just stick to the end. My goal here is to give you exactly what you need and nothing that you don't need in order to create and craft the best possible chance for you to have success out of the gate with your Amazon product. I have no course to sell you and nothing to hold back. Let's rewind 8 years ago, back to 2016, back when Amazon selling was a whole lot different, and just so you can have a little idea, a little context to where we're going now. In the early days, all we had to look for was search volume and sales. We also had very limited tools to work with. I think we had merchant words, which I don't even know if they're around anymore. We might have had Jungle Scout. Helium 10 didn't come out for another year or two after that. So we had limited ways to get keyword data. However, it was kind of there. Search volume, adequate search volume, and we needed sales, and we needed to find products that had bad listings and just make ours better. Go to Alibaba, source the same product, put it on Amazon, give it better SEO love, and typically it was that easy. We run a few ads and we're good to go. Believe it or not, it was actually shocking to go to Amazon and find a listing that had a good title, good images. Even having all of the image slots taken up was rare, and finding somebody that had all 5 bullet points taken up, it was actually rare. It was the Wild West back then, and there was lots of room for improvement. If you could have guessed, times have changed. So I believe product picking is an art and a science both. You need the science in terms of the keyword research and all the hard data that we cannot ignore, but you also need a little art and creativity and be able to analyze markets, be able to analyze the customers, the demographics, what they actually want, kind of use your gut and use your head a little bit. It's all about hitting that sweet spot of enough demand, and I'm going to tell you what enough is, and a clear path to differentiate in more than just one way. And don't worry, I'm going to give you my whole list of ways to differentiate. So the first thing I kind of want to nip in the butt, because most people who make these videos are automatically, this is the first thing they talk about. Seasonal products are bad, trending products are bad, and commodity products are bad. Sometimes, but I kind of disagree, because why is a seasonal product bad if it can make you a bunch of money? I never really understood that. And quite frankly, it can sometimes be easier to manage your inventory when you know that window when all your sales are going to happen. It can sometimes be a little bit easier. I personally know people who make killings selling trending items like Donald Trump talking pens, seasonal items like Halloween costumes, commodity items even, especially if they can make it themselves in-house and just beat everybody on price. There's no black and white to this game, despite what some people might tell you. Do I normally stay away from these items? Yes. What I'm just telling you is not to totally write anything off until you've done your thorough research. The easiest way to tell if something is seasonal is to have an extension or a tool like Helium 10 or any of the other ones for that matter, and you would go to a listing that you would presume is seasonal, like Christmas lights. You scroll down and they have this graph here. I would go to the 1 year, and you can see that it definitely is seasonal. This is a 1 year view. It sells really, really well leading up to Halloween, because most people, I think, set their lights up, around that time. Leading up to the holidays, Christmas, the higher the BSR, the worse it's selling. So this is actually a decline in sales up here, and then it gets back to being kind of stable again. I know some of this is cut off. Don't worry, I got you covered. These are the main products that I choose to stay away from like the plague. Number one, brand-dominated products and or review-dominated products. If top brands like L'Oreal, Kellogg's, Nike, Apple, if they're the main players, I'm probably never going to source a product in that market. Number two, do the top sellers have 5K, 10K, 15, 20K reviews, which will simply be impossible for me to compete with, especially in this stage of the game on Amazon where obtaining reviews is a lot harder? Probably not. Number 2 is Chinese dominated products. I do not want to enter markets where there's very low barrier to entry, which is typically the markets that Chinese sellers get into, because all they need to do is pump out the same product that you're selling, but at a lower price and a higher volume, and you have absolutely no way to compete, especially when they're willing to spend more on ads and just more on everything. A quick way to tell if the product is Chinese dominated is, once again, if you have a tool like Helium 10, it makes it easier, but there's also a manual way. So I would type in my search term like portable steamer. Let's scroll down, and you'll see the country associated with it, the seller country and region. So USA, USA, China, China, USA, 5 Chinas here, China, 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 pretty much all China. I'm probably going to stay away from this market because number 1, it's Chinese dominated. Number 2, usually goes side by side, is it's hard to differentiate, right? How am I going to make my portable steamer that much different than these other people? You probably can't. The manual way of doing this, if you don't have this little flag here that tells you right off the bat, would be to click on the product, scroll down below the Buy Now button, and you will see the Sold By. This is the link to their actual storefront, which reveals their business information. And you'll see detailed seller information, business name, Shenzhen, it's coming straight out of China. Last but not least, you want to stay away from selling low-priced items. What is low price in my opinion? I would say anything below $15. I would say anything $15 or below, because you will not have any room left to spend on advertising to get the product ranked and get it visible, which is 100% necessary on this platform. Let's just go back to basics for a second. I always see everybody wanting to hit that 10K a month mark or that 50K a month mark, whatever your number is in your head, but then your actions don't align with what you have in your head. For example, if you want to hit 10K a month, then why are you selling a $10 item? You're going to have to sell 1 million of these things, right? I would urge you to look at the numbers more closely and look at actually what you need to sell your product at, the sale price. How many units do you need to sell per month at that price to hit your number? And then reverse engineer from there. I find that often to be an easier way to go about it. Because once again, profit is all that matters. I really don't care how much revenue your business is making. I have been under the hood of some massive Amazon sellers, some big businesses, raking in millions of dollars in revenue, but have a couple % profit margin. That does not get me out of bed or make me excited. All that is to me is a lot of problems and a lot of stress with very little money in my pocket. And if anything, little thing goes wrong, like a shipment from China gets, toppled over in the ocean, God forbid, my whole business is done. I only pick products that have a very high profit margin and ROI associated with it, so I can actually put money in my pocket. Let's look a little further beneath the hood of what I look for in my products and what I look out for, I should say, when not wanting to source a product, and that is profit margin versus ROI. This is a really, really important one. You want to write this down. You will get this slide at the end, like I said. But you always want to shoot for at least a 4x ROI, meaning if your all-in cost, your landed cost per unit is $5, you need to at least be selling this for $20. Most people say if you have a 30% or greater profit margin on your product, you're going to be in the clear, and that is amazing, and that's all you need to focus on. That's only half the story though, because ROI actually is a bigger deal. Let me show you exactly what I mean. So here we have this garlic press here. It's $10 on Amazon. And we can see that it's a pretty good seller. It sells 4,000 units a month, 42K in revenue, really, really good. But let's dive into the numbers here. Let's go to the Helium 10 Chrome extension and go to profitability calculator, and let's see what they're actually netting. So their margin is 29%, which is that magical number that I just mentioned, which is really, really good in most cases. However, due to the fact that the item is only $10, they're only netting $2.91 per sale. And that is on an organic sale. We're not talking about ads. So you're telling me that I need to spend, if I spend more than $3 to acquire a new customer with ads, I'm actually losing money. That is not a good equation for me. I need to select products that work with ads. This product does not work with ads. This product will require tens of thousands of dollars in investment in ads just to buy your way to the top before you start making it back with the organic sales. I don't like that. High return rates is another one. Usually a product will say if it has a high return rate, returns can really eat into your profit. The average on average is around 2%, maybe 3%. Another thing I watch out for is if only 1 or 2 keywords are bringing in all the sales, because that means I have to put all my eggs in that one basket of getting ranked to the top for that one keyword phrase. And if I don't, I make no money. I want products that have keyword depth, meaning there's 10 or more, 15, 20 or more keywords that all have over 500 or 1,000 in search volume. That way I can diversify my risk. And if I rank for 5 of those, and then 6, and then 7, then 8, there's a real path to growth. Probably the quickest and easiest way to judge how competitive a product is by their PPC bids. Did you know if you just go into your Amazon account and you create a mock advertising campaign, just a sponsored ads campaign, and you plug in the keyword phrase that you're looking to source, like let's say you're looking to source a garlic press, then you're going to want to create a sponsored ads campaign targeting the keyword garlic press just to plug it in as exact match so you can see what the bid is. Oftentimes the bid is going to tell you a very clear story on how competitive this item truly is, more so than the search volume on the keywords or the keyword sales or any of that. The last thing I would look at is the external presence of the competitors on Amazon. So with the advent of TikTok Shop becoming huge, driving hordes of external traffic to Amazon, YouTube Shop is on the horizon. It's going to be the same thing in my opinion. You need to look to make sure that these products are not just making a ton of sales on Amazon because of their outside presence, their outside influence, because that can really set you up for failure if you're trying to compete with them. All right, so enough of what I kind of don't look for in the negative. Let's get into what I do look for, my key differentiators that I mentioned before on Amazon. The highest level of this would be a custom feature, a totally customized product. It can be branding, meaning that you've actually done the research and can brand your product a lot better than everybody else in your niche. I've seen this happen many times. Whether it be selling the same old supplement that everybody else is selling it, but doing it for women or something of that nature. Something I do quite often is actually differentiate via size and quantity. So if I see that everybody on page 1 is selling a 16-ounce bottle or an 8-ounce bottle, I'll go for the 32-ounce bottle that no one else is selling. Oftentimes I can sell it at a higher price, but it's actually going to be a cheaper per fluid ounce, so people think they're getting a deal. This can also attract a totally different buyer. This can attract a business buyer, somebody who's willing to spend money with you and probably going to subscribe and save more so than a typical consumer. Price comes as no surprise because Amazon is a very, very price sensitive platform, especially in today's economy. If you can beat everybody on price, you're going to make sales. Piggybacking off the previous slide, does the product have a chance to work with short form viral video content? I only will select products that actually have a chance to work with TikTok, or else I'm not interested because I know my competitors will, and then they're going to surpass me. I use a tool called Data to basically, it's like a Helium-10, but for TikTok Shop. This way I can go into TikTok, see all the products that are selling the most, all the metrics. Honestly, just like Helium-10, it's very, very worthwhile. We're going to do a live demo right after this. All of this will crystallize and make sense. I just needed to lay this groundwork for you before we actually do it live. So just be patient with me. So what I look for, always ROI, margin, price point. Number 1, always sales volume, keyword sales, diversity, as we covered. How many competing products does the product have? I don't want like thousands of competing products. I only want a couple hundred. PPC bids, are they within my range? Can I source in the USA is an interesting one, especially nowadays, because as the time of this recording, Amazon just announced that they're going to be competing with Temu in a low-priced addition to the platform, essentially. So I do believe if you are selling Chinese products that Chinese suppliers would typically sell and compete on you with, like maybe say a dog toy, I believe things are going to get harder for you on Amazon because people are just going to go to this Temu alternative that Amazon's going to create and buy it from them. And it's going to ship directly from China, and you might get cut out of the work. So if we're playing the long-term game, I think you should really strongly look at the USA or some other country that's not China, and nor can that product be easily replicated and sold by China. Again, things that come to mind off the top of my head are supplements, anything having to do with cosmetics and the like. So while you're taking into account all these Amazon metrics, you also just want to keep in the back of your head the products to stay away from that we already went over and the key differentiators that we went over on this last slide here. So we need to kind of comprise all of this data into our heads now and then go live to the Amazon platform and do this thing for real. Without further ado, let's do it live, as Bill Riley likes to say. Alright, so just to show you guys something cool, let's first start with this Calo data tool that I mentioned. Now this tool is a TikTok shop analytics tool, just like Helium 10 but for TikTok. So why don't we do a little bit different product research instead of everybody else, instead of just using a Helium 10 or a Jungle Scout or any of these other tools that just feed back essentially the same data that every single other person is using, which always kind of freaked me out a little bit. Why don't we just go against the grain here? So I'm going to check off a few filters. I'm going to go dates last 30 days. I'm going to go category, whatever category you're thinking of getting in, or maybe you're already in and you want to expand your product line, whatever it may be. Let's just click on kitchenware, hit apply. Revenue, I'm going to go over 10K because it's 30 days. I'm going to go revenue sourced, keep it the same. I want trend growing. I want the average unit price to be $20 to $100 as we covered earlier. And that's about it. I'm going to go ahead and hit submit. So kind of crazy, right? And within the last 30 days, this 12-piece pots and pans set has made $724K in revenue. TikTok is insane, I must say. This is a bottle. Portable ice maker might be something interesting to look at. Cutting boards. We have a water pick, dental flosser, vegetable chopper, electric lunchbox, sourdough starter kit. You guys can see that this is kind of cool. This gives you a little bit of a different view. We're kind of going in reverse, right? We're validating whether the product has virality potential with short form video, the first step, and then we're going to go and cross check it on Amazon to see if it actually makes sense with the Amazon numbers. But I'm just, at first glance here, I can see many possible good, products. Let's go to the third page and see what we got. I only have the starter plan, so I only have like 3 pages. Tool's kind of expensive, to be honest, so I haven't graduated to the premium. Automatic indoor insect trap. Let's try one more category just for fun. Let's go with home improvement. Here we have a retractable hose reel that's $738K in the last 30 days. Definitely interesting. Now, a lot of what you see on TikTok is going to be Chinese junk, just a fair warning. All right, this is the sports and outdoors category. Let's just take one last look and then we'll get into the Amazon stuff. Rechargeable camping fan, a lot of exercise devices, pool fountain for above ground pool. That's interesting. That could be a sneaky good product. You never know. Let's take that pool fountain for above ground pool just out of curiosity and let's check it out on Amazon, see if we have anything there. Pool fountain for above, I don't know why I can't say that, above ground pool. As we can see here, the #1 bestseller is doing a crazy amount of sales and only has 300 reviews. This guy's doing over 2K in sales and has 39 reviews out of only a 4-star rating. This actually looks kind of interesting. Problem is it's going to be really hard to differentiate, and a problem again is a lot of these are Chinese. Again, this was done on the fly. I did not prepare this. I just wanted to do it for fun, and you can kind of uncover some cool stuff that you otherwise would probably miss. If you think outside the box, TikTok is huge. It's only going to get bigger. I'm devoting a lot of my energy and attention to TikTok right now because I know the impact it can have on my Amazon sales. So anytime I stumble across a breakthrough, I will share it. All right, so that was good and fun, but let's get to the basics. Let's get to the roots, which is Amazon. So for this example, we're going to use Helium 10 black box. If you have Helium 10, great. If not, then you can just follow along and hopefully not get lost and maybe be able to do it manually yourself. We want to go to the black box tool. There's a million tools here to choose from, but black box is going to be where we want to live. And instead of products, which is what most people do, I like to go to keywords because I feel like I can uncover better insights. So let's check off a few filters. I want keywords to show up that have a minimum search of 1,000. Keep it the way it is. A monthly revenue of 5,000 to 30,000. Nothing crazy, but we need some sort of sales proof. And I want my price point to be from $25 to $60. Okay, that's kind of the sweet spot. 500 max. I don't want products with over 500. Review rating, word count, we can leave all this blank. And then I'm going to pick my category of automotive. I'm going to go ahead and hit search here, this blue button that's cut off from my screen. 200 plus keywords were found. I had to do this a little bit ahead of time just to save time on the video. You can just go crazy with this and spend hours if you want and probably find some amazing opportunities. So golf cart speedometer is one that kind of jumped out at me, and this is going to really crystallize in your head why I like to use the keywords feature over the product feature, because you can kind of differentiate yourself, have a unique angle, an edge that you can sell on Amazon by the keywords. The keywords tell a more clear picture than the product. because we just want to know what people are searching at the end of the day. This is a search engine, and that really is all that matters. To give you a perfect example, let's take this golf cart speedometer. We have 314 results, so right off the bat, I'm happy with that. There's not a lot of competitors right there at all. We do have a lot of China, as you can see, but let's take a look at the best seller. 20 bucks, and he only has 500 reviews. Okay, that's pretty dang good. This guy's doing quite well, or this woman, I don't know why I say guy. And this one kind of jumped out at me as well. 400 plus bought in the past month at $30. It only has a 4.2 out of 5 rating. Now the interesting thing to me, more so than these stats, is that this right here is the only product title that has the word golf cart in it from what I can see. And it's really tucked away at the very end of the title. This one here doesn't have it. A lot of these, most are all leaving out. My point being is that no one is really branding this as a golf cart speedometer. However, you could have your own little spin on it, create your own that is really, more tailored to golfers. It could have like a golf kind of design. You can really let your imagination run wild with this. This is maybe a bad example, but I wanted to just show you why keywords can uncover more opportunity than products when you're using a tool like this. You can probably differentiate yourself in some way, shape, or form. Again, a lot of this is Chinese. Maybe you can just have a speedometer that's in the shape of a golf ball or something like that. That's kind of the point I wanted to communicate here. And these are not going to be very competitive. They're going to be lightweight. They're going to be high profit margin. Let's just plug one in for our own good. Let's take this guy here. Let's use the Helium 10 profitability calculator. These numbers are not perfect, but they do paint a pretty good baseline. See, we got a 50% margin. That's what we're talking about. And we got a $15 net. So that's amazing. Sourcing it for around $6, and we can sell this thing for $30. That falls right within our wheelhouse of ROI that we talked about earlier. 50% margin. That's kind of what I want to look for. And I just found this in 5 minutes before I recorded the video. I highly recommend you do this exact process for Helium 10 Black Box, but using the keyword feature more so than the product feature. Okay, so that's number one. Now let's keep in mind these key metrics we went over before as we dive deeper into this product to see if it actually works for us. For this, I'm going to use the Cerebro tool, which is the reverse ASIN. I'm going to take the number one best seller, which is this one right here, and I'm going to plug it into the Helium 10 tool to let it do its thing and uncover all the keywords it's ranking for. So what you want to do once you get the keywords that come back, you want to check off a few filters. You want to go search volume minimum of 500, well, maybe 200, that's what I usually do. And you want to go organic rank 1 to, let's say, 20. So we're down to 133 filters, or yeah, 133 keywords. I'm then going to sort by keyword sales. I use that over search volume. It means more. So heads up display for cars, we can kind of get an accurate picture here of what people are searching for. The golf cart speedometer is going to be way down here. And as you can see, and this is why we always want to do our research, seemed like a good idea. Then when we get into the nitty gritty, 1300 search volume is actually pretty good. And the suggested PPC bid is 82 cents to 164. That's really, really good, nice and cheap, especially when you're selling a $30 item. So that all checks out and is well and good. But if we look at the actual keyword sales, it's only 4 that it's getting for that keyword. We either would want to sell something that's, more universal, like what the other people are doing, or we would just need to come up with a new product entirely. But just for the sake of the exercise, let's go through the process. So again, what are we looking for? Sales. It kind of fails in that department. What are we looking for? Search volume, not bad. I'm sure there's more keywords, more long tails based off of golf cart speedometer that would all add up to something somewhat relevant. Next, we have the PPC, 82 cents to 164. That's well within our our budget, because we know that if we're selling a product for $30 and we're getting a really big ROI and margin on it, as we already saw, that we can afford that. Like, we just know that we can afford the ads. So as far as competing products goes, in this column right here, we can see there's only 400. That's perfectly good with me. I just don't want multiple thousands typically. Something 1,000 or under is typically what I would always shoot for, so this checks out there. Could you source this in the USA? Probably not. All these other ones are from China, so that would probably not make sense for us. Is it TikTok viral video friendly? Let's just check it out on our Callo data tool real quick to see. No result at all, so probably not a good sign. So just like that, within 5-10 minutes, we can make a really educated guess on whether it's going to be a good opportunity or not. We can't really differentiate it. It comes from China, has a lot of limiting factors. We're going to move on. Let's find one more product. Again, I didn't prepare this, so we're going to find one more product. All right, so I went back to the black box. I did baby category. I did search volume 1,000 to 10,000, revenue 6,500 to 3,150, price 27 to 59, review count 508 max. Again, sometimes I just like to play around with these numbers and make them kind of like random and not round numbers, just so I can maybe get different results than everybody else, because I know everybody else is putting in like 5,000 to 10,000, you know, always these nice whole round numbers. I found something somewhat interesting, as you can see when we scroll down, and you'll see what I mean. Stroller seat cooler pad caught my eye for whatever reason. I clicked over from Helium 10, and here we are. So the number one bestseller, it's only a 4.1 rating, meaning that we have room to improve it. $5.94, over 400 bought in the past month at $40. It's probably pretty dang good profit margin. We'll check that out actually first. Let's see what we're working with here. Let's go to our handy dandy calculator, and yeah, 40% margin, net profit of 16 bucks. I like that. Looks pretty good right off the first glance. The most clicked listing when you type in this keyword only has 25 reviews, and it's, again, this is cheap Chinese garbage. It looks like 4.1 out of 5. We can probably differentiate this pretty well. Again, this is a good methodology, the keyword method, when you're using the black box to find kind of emerging markets, ones that aren't totally tapped out yet. You're going to find these off-the-wall keywords. I didn't even know they had baby car seat gel cooler pads. I don't have any kids, so maybe I'm just ignorant on this issue, but I had no idea what this even was. Look, the number 3 organic listing only has 3 reviews, and they're already on, you know, the top of page 1. Like, that always gives me hope. 1 review, already 50 of these have been purchased. This product actually has some legs, in my opinion, if you make it a little bit different in some way. This person did a little good job here with the ice packs included. Again, that's a fake kind of tag emblem right there. That's just meant to make the main image stand out. So let's take this keyword, run it through Cerebro, go through the same steps we just did, and see what we find. All right, so I did the same filters. I did search volume 200 minimum. I did organic rank 1 to 20, and we're left with 100 keywords. Let's see. Let's sort it by keyword sales. Let's see what this product's all about. Car seat cooler pad for toddler. Interesting. Interesting how the number 1 keyword, seemingly in terms of keyword sales, contains a 6-word phrase. You don't see that very often. And look at that, 48 cents to 93 cents on the sponsored ads bid. That is insane. That's about as low as you're gonna see. In fact, all these keywords, these suggested bids, are super low. Really good sign here. So that's number 1 checked off the list. Competing products, we're looking pretty good here for the most part. There's some outliers, but again, we can live with that. So it looks like we have a lot of depth, keyword depth, that we didn't have with the other products. So we have a lot of keywords that are pretty similar here, pretty, you know, just different variations with 1 or 2 different words, and they're all bringing in sales. Let's search by search volume now. 34,000 searches for car seat cooling pad, but only 51 cent to 92 cent PPC bid. Again, you don't see this very often. These are the opportunities that I look for. All this checks out super good. The only thing if we go back to our list, that I'm a little bit skeptical of is they all come from China. How are we going to differentiate? We need to add some sort of thing, some sort of bonus, just something different to communicate the fact that we're USA company, maybe not USA made, but a USA company, and that we're real, right? Show a real family. Super interesting stuff. This actually looks like a pretty good product. I think we could find ways to differentiate it in some way. For the heck of it, let's go back to Callow data, see if it has any legs on TikTok, just for fun. All right, looks like we got nothing on TikToks, but no big deal there. That truly is in real time how fast I can go out there, find new product opportunities. I can do 100 of these in a day. I can always stay a leg up on the competition. I know we didn't find a home run right here on this video, but that's because this isn't scripted. I do not script my videos, so we just did this live. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I sincerely hope that with my PDF that I'm going to give you and with a tool like Helium 10, which I'll link in my description for you to check out, with these two things, that is kind of all you need if you want to go out there and be able to source a really high odds chance, a product with a really high shot of having success. Now, I don't make any guarantees, of course. This is a weird business and things happen. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, please let me know in the comment section. I'll be happy to answer anything. I'm in the trenches every day on Amazon just like you, just trying to be better. Until next time, thanks again. See you later.